What's one of the things that people don't know about being Yianni from Yiannimize?
I lost a few friends, handed over £30,000 and disappeared off the face of the earth.
To get where you are, you probably had to be a bit reckless.
It's wheeling and dealing, and that's how I built my business. I used to wheel and deal. I used to hustle.
This is the very first 23 plate, very first Urus Perf HR Owen Lamborghini.
Did I make a mistake? I've had quite a few offers for Yiannimize to buy it over the years. Millions of pounds.
Is it important that everyone wins, or is it important that you win and you can put everyone else on?
I saw $1 million in my account.
Do you think you deserve it?
Mate, I couldn't even. Mate, I don't even know. And here she is, guys, my 2023 Lamborghini Urus Performante. If you follow me on my personal channel, you know that I bought my new Lamborghini Urus Performante in February. However, I've waited until March the 1st to collect it, so I get it on the new 23 reg plate. But this is not my first Urus, as I've been buying them since 2018. I've got Gus, the creative director at Yiannimize, to ask me some of the questions that you guys have sent in via social media. Let's get up close and personal with me, Yianni.
So we are here at the lovely HR Owen in Hatfield.
I ain't gonna lie, it does feel weird sitting on this side. When I sit there, it seems so much easier. I'm just asking questions. And now when I'm sitting this side, I'm like, nah, I need to go sit back over there.
What are some earlier memories of money and like your concept of money? Where does that come from?
I was brought up in a normal family. I'm not gonna say we were poor, we weren't rich. My parents are not flash in any way whatsoever. They don't need to have a nice car, this, that, and the other. And I'm not saying I need to have it. It was just something that I always liked. And I've said this loads of times in videos where I had that Lamborghini Countach on the wall in front of the San Francisco Bridge, and I always wanted that car. And I said to my mum, one day I'm gonna have a Lamborghini. And she was like, when I win the pools, and the pools is the equivalent to the lottery now, when I win the pools, I'll buy you one. Thinking that I'm never gonna be able to afford and achieve buying a Lamborghini. It's easier to get a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a Porsche or a Bentley or an Aston in this day and age, whether it be via finance or whether it be just renting a car.
Yeah.
Perception's very easy now. You can wear a nice watch and drive a nice car and people think you're successful. Now, people question it. Is that person living at home with his parents but drives that car, or is he really doing well?
You went from, I'd say, having an ordinary car to a supercar at some stage.
Yeah.
What was that jump?
I think it was a BMW E46 M3, and I went from that to a Porsche Turbo S cab. It was a baller Porsche in polar silver, which is like a light silver blue color. And that was my first real experience of buying a baller car, and that was in 2003. And that car used to belong to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
What was your parents' reaction to you getting your first supercar?
Why are you spending that sort of money on a car? Do you really need that sort of car? You can spend your money better elsewhere, which is valid. But I believe that if you buy stuff that motivates you, you feel more powerful inside, that you think, I'm gonna work harder now, so I want the next better thing. I always say to people, if you work hard, you need to treat yourself. A lot of people graft, and they keep stacking money, but they don't go on nice holidays, or they don't buy a nice car, or some nice clothes, or a nice watch, or nice trainers. You need to treat yourself. And I've said that to this, like, we've got guys filming now, I've said that to...
Thinking about it as well, I'm like, yeah, never do anything.
You need to treat yourself, you lot work hard. So if you treat yourself, then you feel like, right, so this is the reward for working hard. Okay, let me try and work harder now and try and get more niceties for myself or for my family.
Yep.
It's nice to treat people. It's the best feeling in the world. So, but listen, I like buying stuff for myself, but giving back to other people or treating your family is the best thing in the world.
I was going to run back to school days. So were you wheeling and dealing in school?
Yeah, so like you'd have things like the tuck shop. And you understand, the thing is, I'm older than a lot of the viewers, and the older generation will be watching this, be like, oh my God, I remember the tuck shop, where you'd buy sweets and people things would be sold out, you couldn't go to the shop, and I'd have it in my bag and I'd pull it out and be like, I'll sell you this for 30p or 40p, and it cost me 10p or 20p. And I'd always try and make a markup wherever I could. And it doesn't matter whether it's 20p, 50p, it's still a markup, and it's wheeling and dealing, and that's how I built my business. I used to wheel and deal, I used to hustle.
always have a thing about people leaving the right way. When you worked in Do It All, Marks and Spencer's and various other places, did you leave the right way? Did you work your notice? To get where you are, you probably had to be a bit reckless, I could imagine.
I was always good. I was always correct with people because to me, you shouldn't burn your bridge. You never know when you may need that person again or that job or that reference. So if I had to give notice, I would give notice. Would I ask, do you mind if I do a lesser notice period and see what they say? Of course I would. If they said no, then I would stay and do it. The other day, I gave work to Nico and Mark, Pav, Andy, Dion and Rio, all in the same day. And that was about 4 or 5 grand's worth of work and that I spread between them all to do different bits of work because they left in the right way, so they kept their relationship with me. A lot of people will burn their bridge and then you'll send the boat and they'll blow the boat up as well. And I'm like, man, what are you doing? There's no need to burn bridges. It's different if you fall out with someone. That's fine, but don't burn your bridges.
One of the things you also say about Yiannimize is that it's not the main earner. It was never the main earner. All the money didn't come from Yiannimize. A lot of people assume that it did. Name some of the other businesses or ventures that you have going on that bring in cash.
People don't realise, yeah, you can look at Company's House and Company's House will tell you what a company makes, etc. Yiannimize is not my only business. I own loads of property and you can't see that when you search up. So people are like, well, we're looking at Company's House and the business made 200 grand, 300 grand, whatever. They're like, how can you afford to have this lifestyle, that house? It's nothing to do with Yiannimize. Yiannimize is my door opener. That is the business that opens all my doors. Buying and selling cars. I wheel and deal with buying and selling cars. Not your new stuff. I bought one the other day. I bought a E63 SAMG. Literally bought it in and then sold it straight away. I've bought cars from Select D Block Europe. They give me their cars to sell. I sell a lot of cars, but not everything you can see online represents what I actually do.
With the properties, are you technically a landlord? Does someone call you and say, oh, the boiler's broken and, you know, oh, I need the carpet changed, and you have to deal with all the day-to-day runnings?
So on some of my properties I used to be, or you can outsource it, and I outsource it to my cousin Penny, owns a company called Urus. So I give him all my properties, okay, and he rents them all for me. So I don't have to worry at all. They will just clear things. They're like, Jan, it needs a boiler or it needs this. Can you just authorize this? We'll send the team in to fix it. Oh, the windows, we've got a leak in the bathroom. And they'll send the team and they'll fix it and they'll just like, we'll just reduce it from your rent. That's fine, so I don't have the headache. The biggest advantage to me is they don't pay me as much money as I should get in the retail market. However, if that property is ever empty, it's on them. So I always get paid. So I know one of my properties was empty for 2 months. I still got my 2 months rental, even though it was empty, because they're dealing with it from start to finish. No headache, no stress.
You said about making your first million. What is that feeling like? Did you see $1 million in total, or did you see assets and you said, oh, this all totals up to?
I saw $1 million in my account.
Wow.
And that was, but to have $1 million cleared funds in your account is just like, and you're looking at those zeros, I'm just like, what is that real? Listen, it was incredible when I managed to get 100,000 in my bank, but you know, it only lasts for a short period of time when you see it there. And you're like, okay then, great, let's put it over there and let's go again. You can't just sit on that million because your life changes. So when you buy a £30,000 car and that's your maximum, and then you make more money, then it's a 50 grand car, then it's a 100 grand car, and your holidays are 2 grand, then they're 5 grand, then they're 10 grand, and your watch is 2,000, 50,000, 100,000, everything changes. So the more out there you are and the more money you make, the more lavish your life is. So you have to keep making more and more money to be able to sustain your lifestyle.
I always had this vision of like making £1 million and then saying, oh wow, made $1 million. And then I think, if I spend £1, I'm no longer a millionaire.
Imagine.
And I'll be like, I need to make more so I can keep that $1 million there and keep stacking on top of it and spend the
excess on top. Because looking at 99999 is very different to seeing that one with all the zeros.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to help people. People always say to me, oh, you put this person on, you put that person on. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't I want to help my people around me? I'm fortunate enough, I've got big social media, so if I want to promote someone, why wouldn't I do that? To me, you always look for the one person in the group to make the money or to become famous or to be able to put everyone else on. Because one person in the group always makes it first and they always help the others. Why would you not help your people that you've grown up with or people that you're surrounded with? I don't get why people hate on that.
I think there's a feeling of like people wanting to be the guy or the girl who does it. So if you don't make it, is it important that everyone wins, or is it important that you win and you can put everyone else on? And I think that's a difficult thing. I think there's a lot of male pride, especially in certain industries, that it's like, oh, I wanted to be the guy. So then you probably do get jealousy, you do get people feeling bitter and, oh, he changed. And it's not necessarily anything personal, it's just they wanted to be the one to get there. And did that change for you? Did you see that a lot among your friends?
Yeah, I lost a few friends, which is a shame because I put them on and I really helped them, and I was just like, I didn't get it. But what you've said there is valid. Listen, I had help. Bakary Sanya, he put me on. He was my first football player, and he introduced me to players. So, and I'll always mention his name in all my interviews that I do. I always mention Bakary Sanya. And that's my brother. He lives in Dubai now. He was in London the other day. I saw him. We're still bona fide. And he put me on. And he always says, but Yianni, you're the one that went and made it afterwards. He goes, I just introduced you. And it's true, yeah, I was the one with my skill and my ability to go on and grow the business, but I needed that intro. You could use Urban as a good example. Simon, who's my partner, godfather to my daughter, he's an incredible businessman. He's such a lovely guy. I love Simon to bits. And as I said, Simon's probably a great example of someone that I gave a little bit of love to, a little bit of social media, and he went and built a monster, an empire. And now I'm in there with him. And again, it started with me. He went and took it even further, and now I've come back and joined him. So that's how it should be. No jealousy, no arguments, no, oh, he's doing better today and he's doing better tomorrow. Just work together with your people, but just make sure you know who the real ones are.
What type of things have you experienced in terms of losses, financially, or?
Yeah, I've made quite a few mistakes in life. I've been scammed. There's another story that I'll say about this, but yeah, I got scammed out of £30,000 many years ago with a diamond scam. That I genuinely believe this was the one. He was like, we're going to make this money, and he put it all together, handed over £30,000, and disappeared off the face of the earth. To me, I paid £30,000, and I went to school and got taught a lesson.
Yeah.
And as long as you got taught that lesson, that's the best £30,000 I'll ever spend.
Yeah. It's
when you pay that money for a lesson and you don't learn, and then you repeat that mistake down the line somewhere else, it's like, well, you know what, you're an idiot.
Is that why you've never sold Yiannimize? What offers have you had, would you say? And have you not sold because you don't want it to go into the wrong hands?
I've had quite a few offers for Yiannimize to buy it over the years. Millions of pounds. I've been very close. I was very close to selling it a good few years ago.
Wow.
The issue is when you sell Yiannimize is me. That's my brother. Even like it's on my arm. Like, you understand? It's on my arm. It's embedded in me. I am Yiannimize. I'm Yianni. I love my business. I love my brand. I love my company. So yes, I don't want to sell it. I wouldn't sell it now. I like the fact that I said it opens all the doors. I've been around a long time now, 15 years. When you've built that sort of trust over all those years, you can pretty much go to whoever you want and they'll work with you.
True.
And I think that's really important. So yeah, I wouldn't sell it now. But I like to bring people in.
What would you say to your younger self? As in, what advice would you give, or what would you do different to what you've done now?
I would have liked to have a trade, whether it be being an electrician or builder or whatever it may be. Had a specific trade. I don't have a trade, and I think that's really important to fall back on. Like if I was an electrician, I would have on my van 24 hours. You can call me whenever you want. And if someone's calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning, you will get charged that big call out charge, and I'll go out and do the job. And I'd be on it all the time, and I'd make a fortune. Some people are 9 to 5 people, nothing wrong with that. I'll answer my phone at 10, 11 o'clock, midnight. I don't care, because it's business. And the people that answer the phone after work hours or on the weekends, they're the ones that usually go on and become more successful, because they're doing things that other people won't do. You've got to be the exception. The rewards will come, but you've got to do it for a while. You can't just do it for a week or 2 weeks and think, oh, nothing's happening, because a lot of people want to be successful, and they're like, after a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they're like, oh no, it's not happening. My social media's not growing, or I haven't made as much money as I thought, or the phone's not ringing as much. Don't look at social media all the time and think, I'm going to become rich overnight, because you're not.
Your phone book is extensive. What do you reckon the combined net worth is of your whole phone?
Man, I couldn't even. Mate, I don't even know. When you have people like Simon Cowell, Enrique Grossi, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I've got all of One Direction. All of One Direction have got hundreds of millions, let alone all the other people I've just named. It's billions and billions and billions. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you to how close, but my phone book is insane. And they say you're only 3 phone calls away from getting anything you want or anything you need. And I've got that phone book, whereas I can literally make 2 or 3 phone calls and access anything, whether it be a house in Miami or a private jet or a surgeon, a doctor. I've got that phone book, and that phone book is worth a lot of money.
And also they pick up.
They answer, yeah. How many times are we like, let's just phone someone randomly, and they answer?
A lot of people want your time. They want just 5 minutes with you to do a pitch. Would you ever do like a Dragon's Den thing?
Me and Bav, who's an incredible businessman, are always looking for different businesses to either invest in or to work alongside. I don't want to start saying, oh yeah, everyone send me an email, because we've done that before when we tried to do the Grand Entrepreneur, and we got flooded with so many. You'll be able to get hold of me. I think if you genuinely have something that you think this is the next best thing, or it's a business that you need a bit of help with, you can get hold of me or you can get hold of Bav. So I think yes is the answer, but it's finding the right time and the right business.
What's one of the things that people don't know about being Yianni from Yiannimize?
Stress, pressures, don't get to spend as much time with your family as you'd like to. I don't see my parents as much as I really should. My dad's not well. Even my kids, because I split up early with my ex-missus. I was never married before. It's as I said, people see the razzmatazz of the cars and the wealth and the big houses and me going on holidays left, right and centre. But you have to make sacrifices, and sometimes is the sacrifice worth it at that stage to live the rest of your life a different way? Now, yes, I think it is, because I have a very good lifestyle now and I can pretty much do what I want. But at the time, you don't realise what you're missing out on. Yeah, being Yianni from Yiannimize is not all. You get a lot of abuse online. There's loads of things that are said about you, and you've got to be really, really thick-skinned. And when you're not a bad person or you haven't actually done anything wrong, it's actually harsh. You know, if I've ripped people off, or I've robbed people, or if I've scammed people, you can be like, you know what, man, that's the life you live. You got to run with it. But when you're actually a good person, that's hard. And as I said, there's a lot of stuff online that you see or people have said. I'm just like, man, why have you got so much hatred for me? What have I done for you to go out of your way to really attack me or really have it in for me? So yeah, and everyone wants to be famous now. If you could have a fantastic business and make loads of money and have no fame, would you still want the fame? Having an incredible business, making money, being able to provide for your family, spending time with your family, that is where you want to be initially. And if fame comes part of it, like it did with me afterwards, then great. But don't chase the fame. And here she is, guys, my 2023 Lamborghini Urus Performante. So I'm with Sean, who's doing handover with me. He's done previous handovers before. Also, Rue is here as well. Just quickly, for people that don't know about the registration numbers, this is the first 23 reg leaving Lamborghini London, HR Owen, and I actually don't know if there's another 23 reg that's going to land on the road quicker than this car. What Correct. Is the 23 reg? What does it mean?
Every 6 months, a new registration will get released by the DVLA. So we're right at the beginning of March the 1st. So we get a 23 plate. 6 months from now, we'll get another plate. So this is the very first 23 plate, very first Urus Perf HR Owen Lamborghini London.
So I hope that makes sense. Obviously, you'll see 72 reg driving around, which was 6 months ago.
Correct.
So then it's the 23, and then after this, it'll be 73.
Correct.
And then it'll be 24, 74, etc. Rue's here as well. Look, Rue's just turned up. Rue doesn't usually turn up for handovers, yeah, but you've seen Rue in loads of videos.
This is our multi-brand site now. We've moved in. Yeah, this is a full-on sales, after-sales setup for us.
Would this be the place where people come and collect their cars? Because London is London. Listen, I remember collecting cars from London, and would people want to go to London to collect their car and drive it off the pavement?
I still think there's that nostalgia there, but then at the end of the day, know, we deal with people who are really busy in life. So Hatfield, sometimes a lot of our clients are based around here. So a lot of our customers will come here.
You saw Babs was here and a few of my other friends have already got their cars. I decided to wait. So I'll be driving this away today. I'm excited. Let me ask you a question. So I'm really controversial when it comes to my colours and cars. The response I'm getting on this car is very interesting. What do you guys think of the colour?
I love it.
Which is not normally what you do with Jan's car.
I know, I failed.
Yeah, it speaks for itself. It looks great.
I think you've grown up.
I'm not doing chrome. And everyone that I've spoken to or they've seen colour, especially in Milton Keynes, they're like, I love this colour. So I'm like, did I make a mistake? Obviously the yellow pinstriping, we've got carbon everywhere. But the Urus Perf, big difference to the old one?
We've had quite a bit of track time with it, and you can tell on road and on track that it feels lighter, it's more responsive. I think it's a better car.
A big question mark that people were talking about was, obviously it's on springs rather than on air. So the S is coming on air suspension, this is on springs, and they're saying the ride's a lot harder. I've driven a Performante, not my one. I didn't feel that it's a big difference.
Unless you're in and out of the two day in, day out, you'll notice it.
It's an extreme Urus. So that's what we've done. We've gone, here's the extreme one, just so you can, you know, we're still building lunatic cars. We haven't forgotten how to do that. So even though you're going to get a slightly harsher ride over a bumpy surface, they're thinking racetrack, smooth concrete, tarmac, so you don't get the same problem. So think of it as an extreme version of what you've had.
That's it. And Performante usually is the daddy when it comes to the specs, when it comes to Lamborghinis and stuff. The performance, that's why it's Performante. So it's the 1st of March, first day I'm legally allowed to drive my car. I'm heading over to see my guys at Topaz because some of the early Uruses, you couldn't spec all the carbon, but to be fair, I'm going to put a full kit on mine, so we're going to put the Urban Nero kit, but now I'm just going to add the carbon PPF onto the bonnet, so it's got that look until we make our bonnet. You well, brother, you okay?
Good, thank you.
Me and Nabil known each other for a zillion years, him and his brother Mazin. The issue with this car is when you order and you get an early car, some of them haven't come with carbon bonnets or the roofs and stuff like that. Obviously, I didn't want a carbon bonnet because I'm going to put the full kit on. We're still building the kit at the moment, so for now, the biggest difference with the Perf to the old shape is the bonnets. We sort of had a conversation, we looked if there was a way to do a carbon PPF that looks like real carbon.
Yeah. And real carbon is the catchphrase there. Real carbon.
Real
it looks
carbon.
like real carbon.
And it looks incredible.
Yeah.
And today we're going to put it on my car and see if it works.
Yep.
So it can go on top of a wrap if you've already got it, it can go on top of PPF, or it can go just straight on top of the paintwork.
Yep. You can put it on the interior. If you don't have carbon in the interior, you put that on. It's
It's
limitless.
game changing.
It's limitless.
Everyone's going to want to do this to their car.
Because it looks like carbon.
Wraps, they've never got it right. The carbon wrap doesn't look quite like you put it on your wing mirrors. Yeah.
It looks 2D. It doesn't look like it's got depth. Does
There
it?
you go. Whereas this is the real thing.
But look at that. Mad. It looks absolutely insane.
So there it is, guys. It's done.
What do you think?
It looks great. I'm really pleased. You're happy with it as well.
I'm happy with it.
It's the next best thing if you haven't got a carbon bonnet. Obviously, Topaz deal with high-end cars. If you've got a car and you're missing certain carbon bits and you want it to look like real carbon and give it that finish, hit us up. Guys, check out Topaz. Hit them up or hit me up and we will make it happen for you guys. But yeah, Nabil, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks, man.
I guess, what is your message for the world? What's something that you'd want people to take just in their day-to-day, whether they're into cars, whether they're into business, whether they're, you know, just watching this video by chance?
Don't believe everything you see and just be kind to people. I know it sounds so simple. Oh yeah, be kind to people. Yeah, I'm really kind to people. You don't know what's going on behind someone's eyes. You might see them and you might think, well, yeah, they're having the best life and oh, they're winning. Not necessarily. Sometimes there's a lot more to them that you don't actually see. So don't just judge people based on what you see or what they own or what they have. Some people will look at this as inspiration and they'll be like, yeah man, go on Yianni, that's wicked man, well done, you bought another car, you're inspirational, you work hard so you deserve your rewards. Other people look at this and say, look at this idiot showing off, flash.
Do you think you deserve it?
I work hard, I graft hard and I'm nice to people and I show love and I support my people around me, I show love to my staff. I'm good to my family, so yes, I genuinely believe I deserve it. I think moving forward, I would like to help more people. Because a lot of people that send messages on emails, I need this money, I need that money, you don't know whether they genuinely need it. But I'd love to be able to just go to a supermarket and just see someone, I'm like, with kids, and I think that they genuinely are struggling, and just pay a £50 bill or a £100 bill. It's so nice. And if you're in a position to do that, it doesn't hurt. If you're out there today and you see someone walking and you see someone homeless, just buy them some food or buy them a drink. It's not going to affect your life, and someone else might see that and copy you.